Welcome back. It has been quite some time, right? A couple weeks since our last episode.
Yeah, since we came back from our hiatus.
Yeah, from our long hiatus. We went on a bit of a hiatus again, but we had an episode that got lost due to technical difficulties, so...
Yeah, I mean, every time we start doing a podcast, it either fails and then gets better the second time, or, like, a technical difficulty
We run into a lot of
ass.
technical difficulties here at First and Inches Incorporated.
We're learning.
But welcome back. We're going to run back an episode we did last year, right?
One of our most popular.
Yeah, one of our better episodes, I would say. The NFL preview episode. We're going to switch it up from what we did a little bit last year. Last year we went through every division, all the awards. But this year we each picked a division winner, a team total, a player total, a Super Bowl winner, and then we went through the awards. Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, MVP.
Rookie of the Year.
Etc.
And all that crap. So...
We did pretty good last year, right?
Last year we went crazy. We hit on Green Bay Packers under 10.5 wins. Mm-hmm. You called out an insane Amon-Ra prop. What was it?
79.5 catches over. Smashed. Our official First and Inches play, which we'll have another one of later. Stay tuned. Daniel Jones rushing yards also smashed. I think it hit in like week 7.
Yep. We had Giants team total over. Smashed.
We had some tough ones, though. We're patting ourselves in the back a little bit here.
Yeah, but we don't need to say that.
Yeah, I said Broncos Super Bowl and Trey Lance MVP. Those were ugly.
Yeah, I
was chasing the value, guys.
Trey Lance has been traded to Dallas Cowboys.
He's a third-string quarterback, yeah.
But moving on to this year, I think that we have a good slate also for you guys. I think that we could hit on a few of these value-wise and...
I like what we have lined up. We didn't look at each other's bets this year. Last year, we kind of talked and discussed bets between each other.
Yeah, we thought it was better for the pod if we come in
If we just come in raw, yeah.
Instead of talking for like 2 hours prior to the pod.
Yeah, and then we get on here, we're like, oh, we already talked about this for 30 minutes. So, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's see. What's your team total this year?
My team total is Jets under 9.5 wins, plus 115.
Ooh, I like.
I think it's,
you're going to piss off a lot of our viewers.
Good. I just think the AFC is super loaded. The AFC East is super loaded in particular. I mean, you look at the Bills, Dolphins, the Patriots always have the Jets number regardless of what the team is.
And they're going to come in super motivated after seeing all this shit that they're seeing in the offseason. Jets are going to easily win the division. Like,
it's
Josh Allen didn't die.
Yeah, it's also just me fading like the narrative that the Jets are like a write-in for like AFC Championship. You know what I mean? Hard Knocks. They're the media darling, and last year that was the Broncos. I'm fading that. I fell into that trap last year. They sucked ass.
You're also following in the footsteps of fading Rodgers this year.
I faded Rodgers. We faded Rodgers last year. I'm going to fade him again this year. He wasn't really that good last year.
I totally agree with you. And outside of
their receiver room and offensive line is a big question mark outside of Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna? I'm not too confident. And if God forbid Garrett Wilson gets hurt, Lazard is not going to carry that team.
If Garrett Wilson gets hurt, which I don't want to happen.
No, that's why I said God forbid.
But their offense will be boned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're one injury away from a pretty terrible season, in my opinion.
Their defense will still be good, but their offense still has a lot of question marks. What's your team total? I think that's an interesting one. I'm just kind of betting on the AFC still being loaded. The Jets schedule isn't easy.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're just a bit overrated as a team.
I'm in total agreement with you for all your points there. My team total is the Raiders under 6.5 wins.
Easy. I agree.
I think that the AFC schedule this year is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look it up, it says the Raiders have the third easiest schedule of opponents, but have the second largest jump in year-over-year difficulty, meaning from last year to this year, they're playing a lot more talent.
Yeah, so that's not good. They weren't that good last year either. They're going from Carr to Garoppolo, which I guess probably fits the McDaniels offense better, but it's so gross.
Their schedule includes 6 divisional games this year and 4 games against the strong AFC East. So
they're screwed.
I think under 6.5 is pretty...
They probably want to tank for Caleb Williams, realistically.
They want to be in that race, for sure.
Yeah.
Another thing I have is that last year they got pretty lucky, honestly. Like, their fumble luck was unsustainable. I think they recovered, it was like 3.0 over expected for fumbles.
So a lot of bounces went their way, and they still won like 7 games.
And Carlson was incredible last year. It would be
Yeah.
tough for him to do that again. So I just think that they're not going to score as many points as they did last year, especially with Carr. And so I'm betting the under.
I would agree with you on that one. I would agree with you very much on that one.
I also have a little sneaky one that I want to throw in there.
Throw me in.
Titans over 7.5 wins.
I actually love that.
Tannehill, still the best quarterback in the division. They have the 5th easiest schedule in the league.
Not with Trevor Lawrence, but
I don't know. I think Tannehill is still...
Tannehill's very underrated. Everyone's just kind of writing him off. He's still a very solid player.
For what he is, man, I think...
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
And quite the opposite of the Raiders. Their fumble luck was the opposite way. A lot of balls went the other way for them.
Ed Hopkins.
I feel like they could easily sweep the Colts and the Texans.
Yeah.
So that's 4 wins right there.
They could go 4-2 in that division pretty easily.
Easily, and that's just 4 more wins. I think that's an easy one.
I agree. I like that one too. I like that one also.
I just wanted to throw that in there. I felt like it was a
second one. Why not? More bets for our viewers.
Exactly.
So, what is your division winner bet?
My division...
I kind of chased value on mine, but I want to hear yours.
Yeah, I kind of went for a mixture of value and what I think is kind of a safe bet. I went with the Seahawks.
Okay.
At plus 230 on DraftKings.
I like that.
They realistically only have the Niners to worry about.
But also, the Niners are very good.
Niners are great. I'm not
they
saying...
have to be like minus 200 to win that.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
They're minus 250.
Oof.
Niners defense, I'm just kind of banking on like a Purdy not being able
faltering.
to... Yeah,
faltering.
faltering.
I mean, his elbow injury is serious. He had a Tommy John surgery.
Exactly. And Seattle's defense was only average last year. It was 13th in passing yards allowed, 14th in passing touchdowns allowed, and 13th in passing rating allowed. The addition of Devin Witherspoon. Woolen could obviously make an upgrade.
Yeah, year 2.
I think they got Julian Love in free agency. I think
they did.
So their defense could easily improve, and their offense, as we know, is amazing.
Yeah. Adding JSN and Zach Charbonnet also.
So at plus 230, I like the value.
They have a very good roster.
Yeah, they have a very deep...
It's all on Geno again.
It's all on Geno, and you know what? They wrote him off. He didn't write back.
He ain't right back, though.
What about you, buddy?
Green Bay Packers, plus 400 to win the NFC North.
4. That's actually...
We called the Vikings to win the NFC North last year. I think it was plus 250, plus 260.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to that well again with an underdog, I just think the Lions kind of seem like a bit of an overhyped team.
They're also the public darling, too.
Yeah, they're also still very young. I think they have a very good roster. I don't know if this year they're going to smash everything. Goff's a good quarterback.
They'll be a good football team.
Yes, 100%. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. They'll probably be a playoff contender.
Mm-hmm.
But the Packers obviously lost Aaron Rodgers, but Jordan Love, I think, seems like a very solid quarterback. What Rodgers did last year isn't irreplaceable production, realistically.
Not at all. He
was causing issues, so I'm sure that the vibe there is a little bit different now. And I don't know if the rest of that division is as strong as everyone thinks it is. The Vikings won a lot of games by a possession last year.
Yeah, and
they lost players on defense.
They didn't get much better
overall.
They
added Jordan Addison, which is cool, but they lost players on defense. Their defense will probably be butt cheeks.
Which was already terrible.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the Packers to win that division at plus 400 is a great value.
Oh, dude, that is phenomenal value, especially with... I love their passing game this year as well.
I think their offense will be very solid. They're going to run the ball a lot. They have Jones and Dillon. Watson Dobbs. They drafted Jaden Reed in the second. They drafted Musgrave in the second.
Who's going to make an immediate impact.
They have a very young, interesting offense. I think they're going to be a team that shocks a lot of people this year.
I wouldn't put that past them at all.
And I really don't like the Packers at all.
No,
I hate saying this.
No, behind closed doors, he is a Packers slanderer.
I do. Yeah, I'm not a Packers fan.
So when he took this, it kind of shocked me a little bit.
Yeah.
So, because you told me you took this in legally.
Yeah.
So
I had already had this wager in before we recorded this episode. So it's a bet I like a lot actually, especially at plus 400. I don't see why it couldn't happen.
I think I'm gonna tell you on that one, buddy. I like it.
Thank you. We're back. Where are we right now? I think we're at the NFL draft with Mel Kiper, Booger McFarland, and Chris Berman.
What's up, Booger? How you doing?
What's up, Boog? What's up, Mel Kiper? He's gonna love our next picks. We're going into some player props right now. We're going to each pick a player prop that we like for this season, we think is going to hit. That's a goal, right?
Mm-hmm. And we're usually pretty nasty at these.
Yeah.
We find the value.
We had some good ones last year, right? My Face ID isn't working to get my notes up. I'm sorry.
I'll kick us off.
Yeah, kick us off. What's your player prop this year?
You're going to love this.
Am I going to love it?
Alexander Madison under 900 rushing yards.
Oh, my God. That's the line? 900? Under.
Give me a high five.
That's
Dude,
an easy under for me. I agree with you.
This is by far the most cut and clear, obvious bet.
Yeah.
I am hammering this with my balls, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I just think they're going to run a heavy committee and be passing a lot, and I'm not the biggest fan of his. So.
Over the last 2 seasons, Madison has been not a really efficient back, to be honest with me. He's averaging 3.7 yards per carry.
Ew.
For him to beat this yardage prop, like at his 2021 to 22 average yardage,
like 50-something yards a game. He
would have to have 243 carries this season.
Yeah, it's like 15 a game.
Yeah, that's not happening in an air raid offense that just added Addison.
Yeah, and then they also drafted another back.
Yeah, Ty Chandler is no pushover either, buddy.
No, I think they're gonna run kind of a gross committee. I love that,
dude.
It's a good bet.
I think
everyone's on the Madison train. That's the biggest trap in fantasy this year to me.
It's the Mike Davis of this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Vikings were 10th in offensive for passing last year.
They're a passing offense. They're gonna be chucking it.
And with the addition of Addison, why would they stop?
No reason for them to stop.
Yeah. So that's mine. That's my spiel. What about you, buddy? Sorry, I'm schwitzing, guys.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot out here in our undisclosed location.
Yeah, we're in the Sahara.
Yeah, the NFL draft, the lights get hot here.
Yeah, the lights are hot, man.
Treylon Burks over 685.5 receiving yards. Ooh. This one wasn't on DraftKings. It's at Caesar minus 115. From week 10 on last year, 7 games, 37 targets, 23 catches for 315 yards in a Josh Dobbs passing offense. Oh right, so it's like 45 yards a game. I think it's realistic that with Tannehill, he could easily hit 50 yards a game.
Easily. That's not even a question.
I think probably more. I think it could be 60 yards a game.
60 to 70.
I think adding Hopkins helps him, if anything. He's shown he can produce somewhat, right? Even if you take that sample from week 10 on, 45 yards a game, over the season, he's going over 685.
Yeah.
So I think this line has kind of his injury concerns baked into it a little bit. He's going to be ready for week 1. I think this is a smash. He was really, I loved him coming out of Arkansas. I think he kind of had a weird rookie year. He missed some time.
And the injury doesn't help with that line either.
No, like I said, the injury I think is priced into that 685.
Exactly. So I think if the injury isn't as bad as we think,
it's not. He's playing.
Yeah, he's playing. So you know what? I like the gamble on that. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think he can easily be a 45, 50 yard a game receiver, no question. I think he goes way over that 685. Honestly,
I like that. That goes in with the Titans over.
It does.
Because if he hits that, Titans win over 7.
I mean, he could not hit that, and the Titans could probably win 7 games still.
Yeah,
so
that would mean Henry would have to absolutely go nuts.
Yeah, in his age 30 season,
which could happen. He's an absolute freak.
He's a freak show.
Yeah.
Let's get into some awards now.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
You go first.
I think we both agree on this one. So let's do it Step Brother style.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Anthony Richardson. Yep.
Wow.
Plus 600.
That's easy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have easily more scrimmage yards than Bryce Young this year.
Oh, yeah, with his rushing. If JT isn't playing, well, he's not playing for at least the first 4 weeks now. PUP list. If he decides to just not play, right? Richardson might have 15 rushing touchdowns.
Dude, and at plus 600?
Yeah, Bijan being the heavy favorite at like 250 seems a bit of a stretch to me. The Falcons kind of ran a committee, even though they took him 8th overall, and it's obviously going to be disgusting.
And they would be stupid to run him to the grave the first season. We know running backs don't have a long lifespan as it is.
They're going to use him heavily, but 7 of the last 15 Offensive Rookie of the Years are quarterbacks, and 6 of those 7 have been drafted inside the top 5.
So
the only one that hasn't is Dak Prescott.
Okay. Richardson
checks the boxes for a quarterback who could win Offensive Rookie of the Year just from that. And we know he's going to be rushing the ball a lot. He's going to be fun to watch. As long as his passing numbers aren't absolutely fucking horrific.
I think this is an easy
which I don't think it will. Steichen's a good coach for him. They have interesting weapons, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I think the Colts are going to be kind of better than people expect. I don't think they're going to be really that great.
Well, I think they are, man.
I think they could win 6 or 7 games, though, and kind of be like a sneaky competitive team at least.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the offensive line's pretty bad.
No, it's not bad. It had an off year last year. You still have Braden Smith, Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson.
But
They drafted Bernard Ryan.
As of recent, it's not the greatest.
Last year, it
struggled
struggled last year. Their offensive line struggled last year. They would need a bounce-back year, but it's very possible. They have lots of talent.
Yeah, I agree with
I would take their offensive line over a lot of offensive lines in the NFL.
Yeah, probably, just because of the experience.
Yes, 100%. So I knew we were going to agree on that one. I don't know if we're going to agree on this one, though. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go first.
I'm taking Will Anderson.
Yeah, I feel like I was thinking him.
I think I know this is the easy first kind of new pick here, but honestly, the offensive lines that are in his division are really not that great.
No, he could chow.
And I just think that he's pretty much like a blue chip prospect. And
he was being talked about going top 3 since 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he profiles a lot of the past defensive rookie of the years, like Chase Young, Bosa, Julius Peppers.
A lot of pass rush rookie of the year, especially recently.
And I think he's just going to feast. He's generational.
Yeah,
let's go.
Generational is a stretch, but he's very good.
I think this year he's going to have a generational rookie year for a pass rusher.
Let's see it. I would love to see that.
That's my hot take.
I'm not on Will Anderson.
Okay.
I'm taking Jack Campbell, Detroit Lions linebacker, plus 1,400. I mean, you look at his last 2 seasons at Iowa, 268 tackles, 4 picks, 27 games, a touchdown, 2 forced fumbles. Guys all over the field. Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year last year, All-American.
Mm-hmm.
Drafted 18th overall by the Lions. You usually don't see linebackers go there. The Lions said, fuck positional value this year. We're taking good players.
Yeah, they went for best player available.
And I think he's in a spot where he'll be producing a lot early.
He'll have to play.
He's going to have to play.
Yeah. So
he has another good kind of interior linebacker there, Malcolm Rodriguez. I think the Lions' defense will be better than it was last year, and I think he'll be a key piece of that. Guys all over the field.
And I like that, too, because they're probably not going to game plan around him. So he's going to have a lot of moments to, shine.
He's going to be able to shine. He's gonna be in a spot where he can produce a lot, and he's not going to have to be asked to do a crazy amount, and he can kind of just roam around the ball.
That's why I'm kind of iffy on the Will Anderson, because I think people are going to game plan against him.
Because the Texans' defense is ass.
Exactly. So he's going to get the double teams, but I still think that he has...
Jack Campbell's going to be able to play kind of freely, because Lions have Hutchinson, James Houston's good pass rusher.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You have another good linebacker in Malcolm Rodriguez.
And for that value, I feel like you can't really get much better.
Yeah. I like Jack Campbell there, plus 1,400.
Top.
So, Mel Kiper, what do you think about our Rookie of the Years?
Jamarcus Russell's going to immediately energize that Raider Nation, that fan base, that football team on the practice field, in that locker room. 3 years from now, you could be looking at a guy who's certainly one of the elite top 5 quarterbacks in this league. And I think when you look at the difference between Brady Quinn and Jamarcus Russell, everybody says it's the superior physical ability. Brady Quinn's a big guy. Nobody has an arm like Jamarcus Russell. Look out, because skill level that he has is certainly John Elway-like.
We're back here, the NFL Draft. To finish up our future picks, we're going to hit you right now with our Offensive Player of the Year, our Defensive Player of the Year, our MVP picks, and our first and inches official lock.
Make sure you stay tuned to the end to see that. That's our very special pick.
Yeah, it's a very special pick to our heart. We hit it last year. We're going to hit it again this year. And even on our Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, you called Jefferson, and I called Nick Bosa. So we did good on these last year. We would have won a decent amount of money.
Yeah, we would have. Wow. We should have really parlayed all of them.
Yeah, prayed.
If we would have done
every possible combination.
Yeah, literally. So for Defensive Player of the Year,
who's my pick?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick Fred Warner plus 4,000. Linebackers have won it before, a little bit in the past, but why not this year for Fred Warner? Right, the guy has 130 plus tackles the last 2 years. I feel like for how good his coverage is, his interception numbers should be higher, but they're probably not because teams just don't throw near him because he's basically a safety that plays middle linebacker. He's unbelievable. But if he has a year where his numbers just kind of pop off the board, he gets like 4 or 5 sacks, 4 or 5 picks with his normal production, he's going to be in contention. So I think the value is crazy at plus 4,000.
Dude, oh my God, 4,000.
4,000. Fred Warner plus 4,000 Defensive Player of the Year.
Holy
That's my call.
Shit. Dude.
Fred Warner.
What do you know?
I don't know.
Are they running dollar defense?
I don't know.
100% of the time?
I think he'll just eat. I think their quarterback situation could get a little murky. Maybe their offense isn't as great as it has been in the past, and that counts. The defense is going to need to step up and be on the field a lot more.
100%. I mean, defense does win games, especially for the 49ers, perennially.
Back-to-back Defensive Players of the Year, I think it could happen. Fred Warner.
I like that.
Who's your pick?
I'm taking T.J. Watt.
That was my second choice, but
I kind of flopped. I didn't get the odds on it.
it was plus 800.
Plus 800. Even better.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to take him no matter what.
Yes.
Because this wasn't
He's a
matter
stud.
of value-wise. This is more of a bounce-back year. I think he's going to take his 2021 form where he had 64 combined tackles, 16
TFLs.
16 TFLs, and 22 sacks.
He's a dog.
So if he does that again this year, maybe adds up 2 picks like he has been.
He usually does. I think that was my second pick.
At
That was my
800.
kind of layup pick. But I wanted to go Fred Warner because I think plus 4,000 for how good of a player he is.
Listen, it's good. We
ridiculous.
give one crazy pick, one little safer, you know?
Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going to go with the favorite on the board here, even though the board is he's the favorite at plus 1,100. Jamar Chase, receiver, Cincinnati Bengals.
I think that's great. And for the value, what you're getting at Chase is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But it is a toss-up at this point.
Let me
in the
hit you
year.
with some interesting
hit me
stats
with
about this guy. Guess who the only other receiver outside of Jamar Chase to have 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns before his age 23 season is?
Randy Moss.
Yes. Last year he had more yards per game than his rookie year. He also had more catches than his rookie year in 5 less games. Last year he went 87, 10, 46, and 9 in 12 games. After going 1,415 touchdowns as a rookie. So I don't think in a year where he averages 100 yards a game and has 15 touchdowns is anywhere near out of the question.
No.
And if he does that, he's a shoo-in for Offensive Player of the Year. Plus 1,100. I think the Bengals are going to be very good this year.
As they should be.
Chase stays healthy for a full 17, year 3. I think his numbers could be absolutely ridiculous.
And I love year 3 receivers, too. I feel like that's a
that
great
was Jefferson last year. Jefferson won it last year as a year 3 receiver.
Exactly. So
Jamar Chase, Offensive Player of the Year.
I love that. I'm going a little crazy. We're flipping flopping. I'm taking Nick Chubb at plus 1,700.
Interesting.
It's kind of a little freaky.
It is a little freaky, but I mean, plus 1,700, you have to be one of the favorites on the board at that point, right?
Yeah, he's probably. I think he was like top 5 or 6.
Okay.
They're
going to feed him this year without Hunt there.
They're going to feed the crap. He's running behind one of the best O-lines in the league. He's going to have nobody to steal his red zone attempts this year. If he could put up 10 to 15 touchdowns rushing,
yeah, I mean,
on top
he
of
already
his,
has. They're going to give him more touches than they have in the past. His numbers could be bonkers.
And I really think this is one of his last 1 or 2 productive years. So I think he's thinking to himself,
"Let's eat up.
Let's fucking go crazy. Let's put it. I don't want to leave anything on the field.
Let's go nuts."
So,
I like that pick. Nick Chubb plus 1,700.
Yeah,
it's hot here in the NFL draft, man. I'm sweating.
I got a little handkerchief.
Thanks, Todd. That was Todd McShay gave us some handkerchiefs.
Oh God, I needed it all. I needed it so bad. Thank you.
MVP. I went with an easy one here. Patrick Mahomes. He's a favorite. I went for 2 favorites in a row. I hate myself for doing that.
Listen, sometimes.
But I'm just
going
going with my gut, man. Patrick Mahomes, the best player in the NFL. Why wouldn't he be the MVP again? I see no reason why he's not the MVP.
Especially if he comes on top of the loaded
barring
AFC.
Barring injury, I see no. He is the top of the AFC.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the best player in football.
He's the best player in the world.
Yes. I don't think there
unless
needs to be
there's some random Chinese guy that is amazing at football.
Young Ho Koo converts the quarterback and becomes the league MVP this year. Props to Young Ho.
I was thinking more of an undrafted free agent out of China.
Malik Cunningham.
Yeah, something.
Who's your MVP pick? I don't think I need much explanation on that one, right? Patrick Mahomes. Everyone knows that guy.
I don't think there's much explanation with mine either. I'm going with Lamar
Former
Jackson.
MVP.
Former MVP. I think he comes back with his new boy toy, Zay Flowers. And I think he's going to write a manifesto to Greg Roman about how much he hates him.
The Greg Roman manifesto?
Yes, and he's going to write...
You use too much pistol with 3 fullbacks. Yeah.
And he's just going to fall in love with Todd Monken, the new OC, where he's going to throw the ball a lot.
They're going to be slinging that
Andrews is going to feast. Flowers is going to feast.
Bateman.
I think Bateman's going to be a great receiver for football, maybe not fantasy.
You got Odell there for 6 games. It'll be fun.
He'll probably do something off color.
Yeah, he's Odell.
On camera.
I love you, Odell. I hope Odell stays healthy and has 1,800 yards this year. That would make me very happy.
That would surprise the shit out of me, but I would also
It's not
going to
happen. It would make me very happy.
Yeah. So, those are our MVPs. I think they're pretty top shelf guys. They're pretty safe to bet.
We went a little out of the box last year with our MVP picks. I took Trey Lance. You took Derek Carr. That got ugly.
Yeah, but we don't even like betting on MVP. It's just it's kind of a shoo-in at this point with Mahomes.
I feel like Mahomes is going to be the MVP unless someone has just a ridiculous year.
Unless they're like, okay, we can't give it to Mahomes for 10 years in a row.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to get like the Ohtani, LeBron type thing where it's like he could be the MVP every year, but we just can't give it to him.
So moving on to our official first and inches.
The last segment. Our first and inches official fucking lock.
Oh my God, my favorite play.
This is my favorite. I think last year our first and inches official lock, Daniel Jones over rushing yards, smashed. We hit our player props last year too. We had St. Brown catches. Oh, you took A.J. Brown under catches, which actually was closer than people would think.
It was like 4 or 5 off, right?
Yeah, it was 4. I think he had 74. It was under 70.5. It's closer than people would have expected.
Listen, I don't think it was a bad bet.
No.
I lost. You lose bets sometimes.
You lose. We couldn't be perfect. We said Broncos were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we had some tough ones.
We're here again. We don't hide from losses.
We're not. I mean, it's on the internet. We can't really hide from it.
We're not going to delete it.
What's our first and inches official lock? Lead us off.
We're going to go Olave over
1050.
1050 yards.
1050.5. Chris Olave over receiving yards. Minus 105 on DraftKings.
This is a shoo-in.
I think this is... We said this with the Daniel Jones rushing last year, too. We said shoo-in.
I think you should sign it, kiss it, and mail it to one of
lock
your
it,
fucking
lock it and put it in your pocket, dude.
Give it to your nephew for his
First
bar mitzvah.
Yeah, or
you know
communion,
what I'm saying?
or whatever,
Here's a $500
or whatever religion
ticket.
you're a part of.
Yes.
Here's a $500 ticket on Chris Olave over receiving yards for the season, son.
You're getting what? Even money on
About
it?
minus 105. A little bit of the vig.
I mean, Vegas is going to get theirs no matter
Obviously. But let's look at some numbers from last year just about Chris Olave.
Sprinkle me with them.
He had 119 targets in 15 games, 72 catches, 1042.
Mm-hmm.
He's already, if he plays one more game, he's hitting this number. He missed 2 games last year.
Guaranteed better quarterback this year.
20, yeah, huge. Andy Dalton and Derek Carr is a huge jump in quarterback production.
As much as you'd hate to say that.
It's kind of gross, but it's true. 26.7% target share, 8th in air yards. All the underlying metrics love him, and he produced for a rookie. 1050 in 15 games as a rookie.
And it seems like Derek Carr and Olave are a match made in heaven.
The media doesn't want you to know that Chris Olave averaged more yards a game than Garrett Wilson last year.
The media would never tell you that.
The media would never tell you that. So Chris Olave over 1050.5 yards. Here's another fun little stat for you. Receivers in 2022, 25% target share, 2.4 yards per route run, which means it's pretty simple. Every route you run, breaks down. If you're over 2, you're good. You're getting 2 yards for every route you run. Pretty impressive.
Even if that averages in the 0, right?
Yeah, you could get 0 yards per route run if you're poopy. Here are the receivers with 2.4 yards per route run and 25% target share. Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Chris Olave.
All guys that are going to smash.
Yeah, and Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Snuck into the end of that list. And Derek Carr was second in the NFL in deep touchdown passes last year.
It's like I said, a match made in freaking heaven.
Match made in heaven. The guy runs a 4.39, can run every route on the field. I think him going over 1050 is easy, even if he were to miss like 2 or 3 games again.
Dude, I'm loving this pick so much, and it's pretty much my favorite player, or one of them in Derek Carr, his favorite player in Chris Olave.
One of my favorite players in Chris Olave, for sure.
So that's why it's perfect.
It's a match made in heaven. First and
inches.
inches official lock of the century.
Love it.
You have another first and inches lock that you brought up that I really like. I want you to talk about it. There was a guy on the Houston Texans.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to talk about a little guy named Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees.
If you don't know him, Robert Woods.
Yeah.
That's
Former
his
Bills
alias.
and Los Angeles Rams wide receiver.
I think this guy is going to go off the rails this year. Something's happening in his life. It might be personal. I don't know what's going to happen. But for Vegas to have him at 500...
540.5.
It was like 540.
540.5.
He played 17 games last year, and he had like 550.
He's gross.
If he plays 17 games, I will sell my teeth to charity. I'll do next season toothless. Toothless. I swear to God, I'll donate them to somebody in need.
Okay.
This is the teeth pick.
Well, right, yeah. The first and inches official tooth pick.
No, teeth, all of them.
All
I'm going gummy. I'm serious.
All right.
Bobby Trees, man.
Under 540.5. The first and inches gummy play.
The gummy play. Loving it.
I love it. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you again.
NFL preview. Like, subscribe, hit all those buttons down below. We love you. Thanks for watching.
Deuces.
Deuces.